In this week's video we're going to talk about the new gameplay loop of my game, a better way to write if statements, and Unity Text versus Text Mesh Pro. Hi everyone, my name is Paul, and this is Fred Cannon behind the scenes. Okay, let's start with the new game loop. Okay, so we're in the most intense part, the orange background. I finally changed it to orange, and what I want to do with the orange parts is that it's going to be the more optimistic side of the game. So at this point you can really get some distance from your disease. The way of doing that right now is not by moving the disease up or down, but moving the player more to the top or to the bottom. So you start in the middle of the screen, and during the game you can pick up clarity points to move up in the screen, or you can be hit by the disease and you move down in the screen. During the orange parts, there will be all these kinds of clarity orbs. I don't know how many, but we'll see when I play test it. Let's proceed to the black part. So right now it's just the regular enemies that still spawn, but that's going to change. Okay, so in the black part you can see the orange bar moving up and down. That's actually moving on a sine wave. Yeah, so it moves gradually up and then down again. So it's nice fluid movement. That represents the arm that's going to try to grab you and pull you down to the disease. When it goes down, it has a random X position where it will spawn on. So every time it will spawn somewhere else. Sometimes it spawns twice at the same time. Maybe I'm going to write a small thing for that so it doesn't do that. So that's what's going to change. So in the dark part it's more hard, it's more depressing. The arms are trying to grab you and stuff. And in the more optimistic parts, it's where you can really get some distance between you and the disease. So a sine wave is like this, and in Unity is a value that goes from 1 to -1 in a wavy pattern. So let's say this is the edge of my screen, and I want to have a smooth, like the arm is moving up fast and then slows down and going to gradually increase its speed when it goes down. But the same thing is going to do at the -1. So what I did is, with an if statement, I told the thing that if the value is below 0, flip the transition. So instead of doing this, it's doing this. So now it has always a fluid motion and never goes under the screen for too long amount of time. Okay, next up, how to write better if statements. I looked up my old script from my previous game, my release game Shuriken, in which I didn't apply this rule, but I'm going to show you first an example. Formatting is a bit off because it's on GitHub and not in a code editor, but I hope you can read through that. But yeah, there's like all these kinds of things like if statement nested in if statements. It's really hard to read. There's a switch statement inside of an if statement. Yeah, it's a whole big mess. There's an if statement in if statement with an else statement. Like nested if statements are really not easy to read. A few days or a week ago or something, a YouTube video was recommended to me about how to write better if statements, and I was like, that's exactly what I need. So I'm going to show you what they taught me in that video. So we're in the spawner script for my enemies, or for disease. So what you can do, okay, maybe this isn't the best example, but it's the most clear example in my game currently. But okay, let's take a look at this update function. Okay, let's zoom in a little. They told me in the video that if you have a function for, let's say, this update function, you want to write what it needs to do at the bottom of the function. So this is what I want to happen at a certain point. But I do want some things to check before it does that. And that's where these 3 upper statements come into play. Instead of what I previously had is if audio timing.state is the same as audio timing.state.running, then do this. So this would be all in this if statement. But what you can do actually is reverse the if statement. So say if audio timing.state is not the same as running, so if it's anything else than running, return. And if you return an if statement, it skips the whole function. When these two are not the same, don't do anything. And the same with, I made two booleans, spawn in orange parts and spawn in black parts. So now I can make just drop a spawner in the scene, tell it when it needs to spawn. If I didn't check one of them, it won't spawn because it will return. This is what I've been trying to use, but it's really hard because I still have stuff like this. Maybe okay, let's do an experiment. So I'm going to fix this. Nope, it's not working. Probably because this stuff doesn't happen if spawn time is greater than 0. So I need to, unfortunately, we need to undo this all. So that's sad, but I thought maybe try it, let's try it. But the thing is, this is also not really that clean. I could probably clean this up by not putting it in the update function. But yeah, I'm lazy. So that's how to clean up your if statements. Just write this instead of nesting everything inside of each other. And last but not least, let's talk about Unity Text versus Text Mesh Pro. In my last video I got a comment from Tons of Hunt Studios, and he asked if I use Text Mesh Pro instead of the standard Unity Text. And ever since Text Mesh Pro came out, everything at my school, even like 2-3 years ago, they all said, oh, you should use Text Mesh Pro, it's so much better than the standard text, or the normal text is so blurry, blah blah blah. And it's kind of true, but the thing is that I think they just all use it wrong, because it's actually quite easy to make the standard Unity text quite sharp. And I'm going to show you how. I think if you're going to do a lot with text, Text Mesh Pro is definitely the better way to go because it has way more customization options and stuff. But if you're just throwing some simple text to your game, the standard Unity text is just fine. So yeah, let's jump into Unity and I'll show you how to use it properly. So we're back in Unity, and as you can see I have a normal canvas with a normal Unity text. So yeah, the thing that most people do wrong is I'm going to create a new one because I'm not going to screw up my text already there. So you can choose a normal text or Text Mesh Pro text. This is standard in Unity now. It used to be a plugin or a Unity package thingy, but it's integrated into Unity right now, so, which is pretty nice. So we're going to choose the normal text and use it, call it test. So yeah, as you can see right now, it's over here in the middle and it's looking really dumb. But as you can see, my text up here looks already better than this one. So there's a few things we can do. Most people just use, with R, use the scaling tool and scale it up. But the thing is, how the text in Unity works is actually really stupid. But every character in a font, I think this is how it works, but it's an image. Instead of, let's go back to my code editor, normal text on the screen is always vectors, and the difference between vectors and images is that a vector can be scaled infinitely because it's just points in a file. It's not an actual image, if that makes sense. So it doesn't matter how much I zoom in. This is actually the most I can zoom in, but as you can see, the text stays crystal clear in spite of being really zoomed in. So if we go back to Unity, these are just images, and how you can fix this is by not scaling it this way, but if you go to the inspector panel, you need to increase the box the text is in. So let's say the width is fine, but the height needs to be 100. So you can see down here the height of the box is increased, but let's increase this one too. So let's increase it to 300, and then in the text panel you should increase the font size instead of the scale. So if, let's say, we do 30, you can see the text is as big as it was before, but now it's still sharp, and you can change the color and stuff. So let's make it the same as the thing above. You can load new fonts in. I don't have any, but Arial is always the default one. If you do it like this, the text stays sharp. If you just need a simple text, you need it to do like this. If you want to do more, so let's look at the other one, Text Mesh Pro. Oh, I haven't ever used it, so I need to, okay, let's not do it right now. But yeah, if you can see right here, you have way more options. You can do bold, italics, underscore, I don't even know what this is. You can do lowercase, uppercase, and another thing. So you can do a lot more things. Thanks Tons of Fun Studios for your question and your feedback throughout all my videos. It's much appreciated. If any of you have questions about what I do and how I got here and stuff, you can always leave a comment down below and ask away. This is it for this week's video. I upload every Saturday somewhere in the day, so I can see you guys next Saturday. Bye.